Shavua Tov b'Shem Hashem Nasev v'Natzliach. May the learning of the Torah that we do today, may it be in the zechut of our chayalim, the chatufim, and Am Yisrael as a whole. In Pasha Vayetze, something tremendous happens with Yaakov Avinu, where he gets a guarantee from HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he's going to guard him and he's going to protect him throughout everything that he does. And somehow Yaakov Avinu was afraid. Did you ever ask yourself a question? Why are we so confident in Avodat Hashem? Why are we so confident in the learning Torah that we do? In the prayers that we say? In the brachot that we say? Why are we so confident that everything that we are doing in Avodat Hashem is the right thing? I'm not telling you to go ahead and beat yourself up. But when was the last time you sat down with yourself, took out a pen and a paper, and started writing, did I have kavanah in Shemona Esrei? Did I say Asher Yatzar with kavanah? Did I say Shahakol with kavanah? Do I say after blessings? Do I learn Torah? Even when I learn Torah, do I learn Torah the way it's supposed to be? Or am I on my phone 24/7? Rabotai, did we ever ask ourselves a question, are we doing enough for Hashem? Or do we feel that, no, after 120 years, B'ezrat Hashem, you're going to come there and they're going to greet you like you're one of the greatest tzaddikim alive? And this is a very, very big stumbling block. Or better yet, Rabotai, one of the traps of the Yetzer Hara, how he's able to ensnare us to thinking that what we're doing for Hashem is good. You have a person, he can come, learn, he has a set time of learning Torah, 1 hour. He's been on his phone for the past 40 minutes. Baruch Hashem, I learned 20 minutes. Baruch Hashem. I'm not telling you that that's not good. Of course that's good. It's better than nothing. Anybody's going to tell you it's better than nothing. But when you're going to come to the next world and they're going to ask you, why weren't you? Why didn't you produce the way you were able to produce? Why wouldn't you serve Hashem the way you were able to serve with your kochot? Rabotai, when it comes to Shemona Esrei, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, some 10 minutes. But when it comes to being on our phones or drinking and eating and having a good time, it's hours. Where's the comparison? It doesn't make sense. So you want to come and you're going to say, Hashem, you know, those 20 minutes, I did something. Rabotai, it's not about just the 20 minutes. It's about also what you didn't do, what you could have accomplished. That's what Hashem is going to also ask you a question on. There's going to be a din v'cheshbon. You know, a lot of people, they believe in le'ilu nishmat. They believe that the neshama goes up. But there's also a concept of yiridat nishamot. When the nishamot go down because of the people that the deceased left behind. Same thing with us, Rabotai. Just like you believe there's Bnei Aliyah. There's Jewish people that when they serve Hashem, they go up and up and up. They grow spiritually. In midot, in prayer, in tefillah, in Torah, they grow. But at the same time, you have such a concept that's called yiridat avodat Hashem. When people go down in avodat Hashem, you have to be able to pick that point. When are you going down? And try to stop yourself, Rabotai. Don't be so confident. That confidence can get you in trouble. You'll be very surprised. I mean, maybe you're not seeing it in this world. But in the next world, it's going to be too late. And I want to give you guys an example. You ever walk into a meeting confident that you know, you got this, it's in your pocket, in your bag. Money in the bank, how they say it. You ever had that? You ever had those feelings? You walk out, nothing happened. You walk out like, why didn't the meeting go through? I thought everything was going good. You know, the files were here, the pay. Everything was on the way I saw it. It was supposed to be 100% deal. I was supposed to close on the business, close on the house, close on whatever it is, and it didn't go through. But did you ever have a time where you know you're afraid? Maybe yes, maybe not. 90% is not going to work out. So you start davening, now you start worrying, and you try to you try to cover every angle, and in the end, excuse me, it goes through. Why is it? How's that possible? How's it when I'm confident, it doesn't go through? But when I have a doubt, maybe not or maybe yes, so I give it everything I got, and in the end it does go through. Rabotai, because that's life. If you think your confidence level is going to get you to where you think you're going to be, so a lot of people, they really feel that, they daven Baruch Hashem and her, that's also good. They daven Shacharit, Mincha, and Arvit, and they learn an hour Torah. They said, Rabbi, you know what, to my level, I'm holding over here. Who said? Who are you comparing yourself to? To what? To what standards of yours? To your basketball games? To your football games? To working? What are you comparing it to? When Hashem is going to compare and contrast, He's going to say, okay, fine. So you gave me 3 prayers, 1 hour of learning Torah. Let's go on the other side. Why did you, okay, so all this took you about 3 hours. But why when it came to the other side from 24 hours in a day, you gave 21 hours to that? For food, for drink, for sleep, being with your wife, having a good time, work. You gave more there than over here. Something doesn't add up. So that's what Rabotai, being confident is very good. Being confident and trying to grow in Avodat Hashem, it's very important. But don't think you have accomplished everything. Don't be overly confident. And a lot of people feel it, Rabotai, they know Shabbat comes, they don't learn on Shabbat. They don't learn on Shabbat. They eat, they drink. I'm talking about Balabatim, I'm talking about people that work all week long. They don't learn on Shabbat. They come whenever they want, they go home. It's like a free-for-all. Hashem gave you 1 day to go ahead and try to make up for the week that you lost. And you take your time. Rabbi, don't worry. I listened to the rabbi, he gave 2 halachot between Mincha and Arvit. That will also suffer from me over there. Rabotai, whichever way you want to look at it. You think you're going to be over there, you think you're going to be over there, it doesn't matter. However you want, wherever. Put it to you like this. Like the Gaon Vilna says, the disappointment that a person will feel after he dies, that's going to be Gehenna. Because he's going to come to realize, how much did I miss out? How much, where I could have been, what I could have accomplished, and I didn't because of my foolishness, because of my confidence. I thought I was doing everything. I was giving tzedakah, I was davening, I was somebody in the shul, Mr. President, board member, I don't know, Gabay, Shmabay, doesn't matter. Rabotai, all this is only good over here in the eyes of people. In the eyes of Hashem, it's a completely different ballgame. Hashem knows each and every single person. Their inside, what they think, what they're doing, where they're going. Hashem knows everything. Rabotai, me you can fool. People you can fool. Hashem you cannot. That's why a person has to ask himself, is he really giving everything he has in Avodat Hashem? The answer is no, Rabotai. It's not. Because if you were giving everything that you had in Avodat Hashem, you would be a different being. Your Torah learning would be different. Your davening would be different. Mitzvah would be done differently. Everything would be done differently. But we see it, Rabotai. We read how many months already passed? 3-4 months after Ne'ilah, after Yom Kippur. We guarantee that Hashem, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Well, is there anybody that's keeping it? I was saying this in shul on the Kiddush of Shabbat. Are we doing it? No. Of course we're not doing it. We're not. I'm telling you, we're not doing it, Rabotai. And listen, you have to understand, I'm not telling you guys, Chas v'Shalom, now to go ahead and be upset and be depressed and feel down. That's Chas v'Shalom. That I'm not telling you. You understand when you have to go, you have to do an accounting, right? You go to your accounting, you go to your accountant, and you have to do accounting for your business. You don't do it, you got an IRS, Chas v'Shalom, they're coming after you. You're afraid, so you go 3 months in advance, all the receipts, everything, bam, boom, bam, you get it done. You even pay the accountant. When was the last time you sat down with yourself and made a real cheshbon nefesh, accounting of the neshama? What am I doing right or wrong? Did you ever go to a rabbi and say, Rabbi, am I really doing enough? Am I really doing good? Am I really learning enough? Am I really doing the way I'm supposed to? When was the last time you sat down with a rabbi who's an accountant in spirituality and go ahead and speak to him about these things? When? No, Rabotai, we don't have this. We don't have this. We only know what to tell rabbis what to do. But we don't ask them what needs to be done. One time, Rabbi Shmuel Walken's Zatzal, Rabbi Walken's father, parent came to him and he was crying. He said, my son wants to marry Christina. Chas v'sholom. He said, a Goya. So the rabbi sees the father crying. He says, why are you crying? So what you don't see? He wants to marry a non-Jew. What's going to be with my son? What's going to be with my family name? What's going to be? What's going to be? He said, why are you coming to me now? Why didn't you come to me 20 years ago, 21 years ago before your son was born, where you had to work on yourself? Rabotai, sometimes, unfortunately, when we come to the Rabbanim, sometimes it's late. It's not their fault. They can give you all the brachot, they can give you anything and everything. But the hishtadlut, the change has to come from you. If you're not going to put that change, they can give you any bracha. I believe I said it one time, and I'll explain to you what I mean. Rav Chaim Igal Zatzal, Rabbi Aharon Pesach Shlita had the zuchut to speak to him, and he said there was a little boy that came to him to get a bracha. He wanted to become a very big gadol in Torah. In other words, he wanted to illuminate the world with Torah. So Rav Chaim Igal looked at him and he said, so why do you need my bracha? So what do you mean? I need your bracha, so I want to be able to become somebody big one day. So Rav Chaim Igal Zatzal said, listen, if I give you a bracha and you never open up a book, so what is my bracha worth? If I don't give you a bracha and you open up a book, again, so you see my bracha didn't do anything. So exactly what do you want from me? That's the way a rabbi is. What are barachot going to do? Yeah, barachot are nice to make you feel good. But if you're not going to do anything from your end, how's this barachot going to help you? So Rabbi Aharon Pesach was there. He said, tell him something. Tell him something. And he said the three words, Rabotai. If a person really wants, he will be. It's all up to us. Do we really do? How bad do we want to serve Hashem? How bad do we want to learn Torah? Excuse me. How bad do we want to do mitzvot? Do you have that longing to go ahead and want to daven shacharit, want to daven mincha, want to daven aravit? Do we have that longing for Hashem or not? Or we have a longing for everything but that? Watch sports, watch news, watch TV, watch this, watch that. We have a longing for that. I'm still learning on it. I'll make a sure one time, but another, I'm trying to figure out this whole thing. It's called dopamine, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm reading on it, not in when I'm basically in the restroom, put it like this. Dopamine is something very dangerous that actually gives a person a certain high when you do something. So we're looking for that high, so we'll watch a reel, we'll watch this. It's a whole thing, how it works to get us to do things we don't want to do. And it's very sad because that's how people get sucked into the phone and into watching reels and watching YouTube and watching movies and don't even realize it. Because in your mind, it sends off some senses to make you feel good when you watch it. That's, but believe it, I have to still do my research on it, how it works. And I think that will be B'ezrat Hashem. Like that opened up my eyes why people choose the easy way out today. Right? Nobody has time to sit and listen to 40-minute, 1 hour shiur, 2 minutes, everything, everybody, 1 minute reel, 60 seconds, 30 seconds, everything fast. So I'm listening to, there's a book, there's a sefer that's, it's an English book, whatever. And it speaks about dopamine, how it can be constructive, but at the same time, it could be destructive. For example, one of the things they brought down over there, how does dopamine work? If some person is on drugs, right? So he smokes or he does drugs, whatever he's going to do. So now, the molecules, they give out a certain sense of high. So good, so every time he does it, they give him a certain sense of high. But after some time now, those molecules that start coming out, they start balancing with the drug that he's taking. So now it's not giving him that same high. So what happens? So he has to upgrade his dosage. And same thing, the dopamine is going to also upgrade, and so on and so forth. Until some person can die over drugs because of a heart attack or something else, and so on and so forth. But that's how it works, Rabotai. In any event, it's just a person, excuse me, a person has to understand, Rabotai, we are being controlled, we are being influenced to run after these things. We have to have that dopamine we want to have for longing, that dopamine which I would want to define like a longing for a Kadosh Baruch Hu, Rabotai. Use that dopamine to go ahead and try to serve Hashem. He gave you that instinct for a reason, to make you feel good for a reason. when you daven, when you learn, when you help somebody, when you do something right, Rabotai, when you do kindness, makes you feel good. Direct that feeling towards something productive, not to something that's going to destroy you. In any event, Rabotai, I want to try to go ahead and bring the proof for what I'm saying today from Pasha Vayitzim. In Perik Chavchet, that's chapter 28, in Pasuk Tetvav, that's verse 15, listen what the Pasuk says. V'hine anochi imach ushmerticha b'chol asher telech. Hashem says, I'm with you, and I will guard you in everywhere you go. Rabotai, if Hashem guarantees you something, are you going to be afraid? You're not going to... Hashem, Rabotai, Hashem himself came and he told Yaakov Avinu, I, by myself, I'm going to protect you from everything. Besides, let's see something. There's a Gemara Masechet Brachot in Daf Daled Amud Aleph. Yeah, the whole thing goes back and forth if David really called himself pious. So the Gemara, I want to just get to this piece. David really called himself a pious person, but doesn't it say in the verse, had I believed in you, to see the good of the living land, right? Which means Olam Haba. So what does this pasuk really mean, Rabotai? Let me see something. V'tana mishmei Rabbi Yossi. Lam nakud alulei. Because if you pay attention to the word, it's, the vowels are on the lamed. So he says, so it was taught in the name of Rabbi Yossi. Why are the vowels on the ot lamed? Amr, this is what the pasuk means, Rabotai. Amr David lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. David said before Hashem, Ribbonu shel Olam, master of the universe, Muftach ani becha. I trust in you. Shata mishalem sachar tov letzadikim. That you're going to reward the righteous la'atid lavo in the future world, in Olam Haba. You don't give them their reward. Aval any yodei Rabotai, Duvid Rabotai. David HaMelech, look how scared he was. Aval any yodeim yesh li chelik b'neihem im lav. David HaMelech says, but I don't know if I have a portion with them in Olam Haba or not, to be able to get my reward. David HaMelech, Rabotai, are we serious? Oh, you might tell me, yeah, Rabbi, he sent Bathsheba's husband to the war, so that's a sin. No, look at Masechet Shabbat. It clearly says, anybody who says that David sinned with Bathsheba, he's only making a mistake. He did not sin. He did everything according to halakha. Doesn't matter about that. I'm not going to get into that story right now. But I want to just show you something weird. He said, I trust in you, Hashem, that you're going to pay the righteous their good reward. In the future, in the world to come. David HaMelech says, but I don't know if I have a portion amongst them or not. Rabotai, you have to understand, David HaMelech is saying that. We got a problem. What am I supposed to say for myself? What are we supposed to say for ourselves now? No, Rabotai, it's not you. Rabotai, I'm not going to tell you right now, yeah, you did good, Baruch Hashem for this, Baruch Hashem for that. This is nice, Rabotai, when you're doing kiruv. When you're doing kiruv, yeah, you can tell me, Baruch Hashem for this, Baruch Hashem for that. But Rabotai, the emes, I need to know the emes. I need to know tachlis, Rabotai, end of the matter, what's going to be. This rabbi says, Baruch Hashem, thank Hashem, tate, mame, whatever. Rabotai, it's not going to help you. It's not. This is good. Yeah, I'm trying to bring somebody back. But ask yourself, Rabotai, you want to be, you play with your life. Look what our Chacham are teaching us. Not what we're being taught. That's a problem. That is a very big problem. Somebody comes up to me and says, Rabbi, you don't think you learn so much? No. I think I don't learn enough. That's my problem. I don't think I give enough to Hashem. Even with the amount of time that I'm able to put in. I don't think I'm doing enough, Rabotai. And that's the emes. You don't believe me? Ask my wife, Rabotai. She'll tell you right away. She thinks I'm beating myself up. No, I'm not beating myself up, Rabotai. I don't want to be disappointed after 120 years of age. I'm going to come over there, wabam. You should be over here. You're over here. Why should I? For what? For what? Why should I be thrown off. Why? For what? If you could accomplish in this world, accomplish in this world. What do I care for everybody else's opinion right now? That's why a lot of times, Rabotai, when you guys listen to Shu'urim, when you listen to Torah, I'm not going to say Rabotai, but you have to know, a lot of it is not Torah. A lot of it is not Torah. You have to understand. Stories, yes, you're going to mention Hashem's name. Yeah, you're going to bring out a Musar point, no problem. Okay, listen, you want to say Torah, maybe, but a very low level of Torah, Rabotai. I can tell you didn't speak Lashon Hara, Baruch Hashem. You didn't go to the movie theaters, and you'll get reward for sitting in the base medrash. Rabotai, there's halachot on this. There's halachot on this. It's unbelievable. In any event, if David the Melech was afraid, how much more so we should question ourselves. Am I really down the way I'm supposed to? Rabotai, you know something? Forget about it. I'll speak. Am I down the way I'm supposed to? No, I'm not. Am I saying the Baruch? No, I'm not. Am I learning as much as I'm supposed to? No, Rabotai, I'm not. I'm telling the emes, I'm not. I'm not even being humble with you. I'm not. Because I know, Rabotai, how much more I can do. Before I used to work, meaning before I became a rabbi, I used to work. I used to be a shoemaker. Rabotai, I was a workaholic. You know what I mean, he's a workaholic? Non-stop. I could go work without the problem. I didn't have to eat, no bathroom, nothing. Because I had responsibility to make sure that the work gets done. I could have been at work till 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, go home back and come back the next day, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Rabotai, it was nuts. There were times I would have to wake up, go to sleep late, wake up very early because I had to drive out. I was making cold calls. I was in the stockbroker, whatever. You had to call outside the country, so they have a different time. So you had to call, whatever. It was a whole thing. Rabotai, I know how much I saw from my physical, from my materialistic life. When I was working, I saw how much I can do. When I compare and contrast, they're not even close. They're not. Even if I tell, yeah, but they're not, Rabotai, they're not. This is the emes. Don't lie to yourself. Ask yourself, are you davening the way you're supposed to? No. Are you saying barachot the way you're supposed to? No. Are you saying after blessing the way? No. Are you doing mitzvah the way you're supposed to? No. Are you putting even tefillin? Is your tefillin even kosher? Do you know how to, come on, Rabotai. Man, if only we go to the Shulchan Aruch one by one. We can't even do the first halakha to Shulchan Aruch, Rabotai. The first halakha says you have to get up like a lion in the morning before dawn. Can we do that? No, Rabotai, no. So where? Tell me, what are we doing right? Yeah, but Rabbi, don't be hard on yourself, Rabbi. At least you're doing something. Go tell this to your boss. At least you're doing something. When he tells you have to bring in $500,000 a year and you only made him $20,000. Go tell boss, I did at least something. I want to hear what he's going to say. Rabotai, don't be easy on yourself. Don't be easy on yourself. You know, I went yesterday. One second. A few minutes I have to. Rabotai, I went yesterday, B'lei Har Baruch Hashem. My oldest son goes to Yisodi. Right? Yisodi Yishurin. So I went for now, my other son, Baruch Hashem, B'lei Har. He's in Shartion, so we want to put him to Yisodi, B'ezrat Hashem. It's not an easy school to get in. So we were over there. The Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Lander, listen to the words he says. I spoke to my wife about this. It was nuts. He said, we're trying over here, we want to be easy, Listen what Rabbi Lander said, Rabotai. It was nuts. In the open house. He said, when you challenge the kids, they raise to the challenge. We in our school, he says, we challenge our kids to become great. Another Gimor, another curriculum, learning at night, and so on. You challenge them, they will raise to greatness because of that challenge. They raise to the challenge. They pick. It's unbelievable. He says it's not normal. You would have given any boy, if you would have left him like that, he would have learned maybe one, this, that. But we challenge them to. How do you say? They challenge the children to exceed their level. And they exceed their level and they rise to great expectations. Great. It's not Rabotai. It's not the way he said yesterday. If you don't challenge yourself, I'm not going to get into the children right now. Yeah, leave your children like that. Let them be shit. You don't tell your children what to do. They'll see what they're going to do. When there's no rules, it's not good. If you don't challenge yourself, How do you want to race to that? How do you want to race to that challenge? How do you want to become great? How? If your bar is over here, how do you want to become great? If you're over here and your bar is over here, how do you want to become great? If your bar is over here and you're over here, now you have what to look up to. Rabotai, it's very important that we challenge ourselves in Avodat Hashem. Don't be confident. If David HaMelech was afraid, I don't think you and I should be here comfortable sitting and thinking that we got everything already figured out. If David HaMelech. Now let me get to Yaakov Avinu. Because Yaakov Avinu had a guarantee. Why? Right? Because David HaMelech said, I don't know if I'm going to have my portion amongst them. Why? Shema yigrom hachet. Maybe a sin is going to cause me, David HaMelech says, to lose my olam haba with the tzaddikim. To lose my portion with them. David HaMelech, you're afraid? Sin? Rabotai, I don't want to open my mouth. How many times we go back and forth and chas v'shalom, we do mitzvot, we do averet, we do mitzvot, we do averet. Rabbi did this, Rabbi did that, Rabbi fell there, Rabbi did this, and still you're confident. And still we're confident, Rabotai. I'm not saying not to do the shul. Don't walk away from this lecture being upset. On the contrary, challenge yourself to greatness, and you will see great results. Where do we learn this from? That he was afraid of the Melech. Why is he afraid now? Comes the Gemara says, Ki the Rabbi Yaakov bar Idi, like the opinion of Rabbi Yaakov, the son of Idi. The Rabbi Yaakov bar Idi, Rami, because Rabbi Yaakov bar Idi, he brings a contradiction in two pasukim. Ketiv, listen to this week's parsha. V'chine anochi imach ushmarticha b'chol asher telech. Hashem says to Yaakov Avinu, and here I am with you, and I will guard you in everything you do and everywhere you go. Uchtiv, but then it says, the pasuk says, Vayira Yaakov me'od. What was Yaakov afraid of? Yaakov was afraid of what? What was Yaakov afraid of? When he saw Esav, he was afraid. What are you afraid? If Hashem said, I am with you, I guarantee you believe. What are you afraid of, Yaakov Avinu? Yaakov Avinu, Rabotai. Amar, because he said, Shema yigrom hachet. This pasuk where it says, Vayira Yaakov me'od, because then maybe I did a sin in my life that's going to cause me to lose that protection. Rabotai, let's not be overly confident. Maybe chas v'shalom lolenu, we did an avera that we didn't do teshuva on, that can make us lose olam haba chas v'shalom. Even if you want to tell me not the whole olam haba, but olam haba, a very big portion in olam haba, if you lose, you'll be very disappointed. You'll be very disappointed. Because over there, that reward you could have had for eternity. That's what Rabotai, let's not be overly confident. I don't want to really use the other word how people are. Let's not be overly confident. We have to start doing cheshbon hanefesh, taking a self-reckoning, accounting of our soul, if what we're doing is right or wrong, and strengthen yourself in Avodat Hashem. No matter how much you do, Rabotai, strengthen. If you fell, get back up. If you fell, get back up. Do tshuva, get back up. Don't give up. That's it. Whatever it is, Rabotai, do not give up. I don't know where each one is holding. Right? A person comes up to me and says, Rabbi, I slept with a chas v'shalom, a married woman. Now, I don't know. In my mind, Dr. Pashol, where'd you go? What'd you do, Belin? How? Where'd you go? In my mind, it doesn't make sense. But I'm not going to tell him that, because I'm not going to break the guy, right? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to tell him, Rabotai? I tell him what the Torah tells. I tell him what the Torah says. Not what I think. I tell him what the Torah says. The Torah says there's teshuva for everything. Do teshuva for everything. Don't give up. Just start somewhere. Just start somewhere, Rabotai. Whether it be in davening, whether it be in berachot. Start little by little. And start piling up, Rabotai. I'm not even telling this chasidut. I'm not telling this is something good to do. I'm saying our Rabbot halacha. You have to have kavanah and shumnat. You have to have kavanah and berachot. You have to kavanah. When you learn, you cannot be distracted. These are halachot. I'm not even telling you something that's above and beyond. Rabotai, may HaKadosh Baruch Hu give each and every one of us a blessing that we should be able to overcome our desires for the stiyot of this world and be able to channel that desire and have that longing to want to daven, to want to serve Hashem, to want to pray, to want to say berachot, to want to learn Torah. Let's channel our feelings. Like Rabbi Wallace in Zatal one time said, well, I can't believe I just said Zatal. Rabbi Wallace in Zatal one time said, Hashem gave you feelings for a reason. He gave people different emotions. Why do you give you this emotion when you see a child? When you're with your wife, right? When you're with your wife, you know what I mean? When your person's physical with his wife, you feel that certain sense of satisfaction. When you eat, you feel a certain sense of satisfaction. Why does Hashem give you all these good feelings? So you can channel it back to Hashem and you want to feel that same love, that same connection, that same affection, that same longing that you do for everything over here on this side of the world. You want to be able to do it also on the other side of the world. Rabotai, may HaKadosh Baruch Hu bless us with all the berachot in the world. May we only see nachal from our children, from Am Yisrael. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu help our chayalim. I heard about the chatufim, what's going on with the captives. It's very sad. Rabotai, more than ever, we need to strengthen our vote to Hashem in order to be able to help the Jews around us. And believe it or not, like the Rav Chaim says, your one action over here can affect another Jew on the other side of the world. Baruch Adonai Olam, Amen v'Amen.